In the meantime, Bolt and Uber drivers, the two leading e-riding companies in Nigeria, have protested the low upward review of fares that the app charges its customers after the removal of fuel subsidy. They have demanded a 200% increment and are asking that the companies reduce their commission to 10%. Arise News caught up with the protesting drivers at Millennium Park in Abuja.
3,600 naira. Now, 800 naira. What is 20% of 800 naira?
These drivers here are protesting the services offered by two e-riding hailing apps, Bolt and Uber. Ever since the increment in the price of fuel, some drivers have asked customers to double the amount the e-riding companies are charging.
It's supposed to be 760 naira. How much did they remove? 800 plus.
When the customers refuse, the drivers cancel trips outrightly. According to the drivers, the increase in fares implemented by the app-based companies only represents 25 to 30%, an increment that is far less than the increase in fuel and the 200% hike demanded by members.
You pay Fantasy 500, you pay your toll gate 200, you pay for company service charge 2,000 naira. Your fuel is 5 liters to go to airport and come back. 10 liters, that's 5,000 naira. At the end of the day, data. At the end of the day, 1 naira you are not going home with.
Bolt currently charges 25%, and that is just outrageous. It's unfair. They don't buy the cars, they don't have any drivers, they have nothing. They just sit in their offices, and it's actually they're all foreign companies. Most of them not even in Nigeria.
The drivers are also asking that the app companies reduce their commission from 25% to 10%. While the fears of the e-riding companies are that an increase in fares might lead to decline of customers, the drivers suggest that the e-riding companies reduce their own commission to reduce the burden on both customers and drivers.
We are now saying all app companies peg your percentage on a 10% commission, as we say. Yes, by the fares, why they bring down their commission at least to make it easy for both they themselves, the drivers and the riders.
If you give both 12,500 out of 50,000, what you have left is 37,500. Out of the 37,500, for you to make that round figure of 50,000, you have spent fuel of 30,000. So remove 30,000 out of that. How much is left? We are completely not making anything. Like this morning, I bought fuel of 12,000. I went to the airport for 10,000. I came back. The fuel is gone.
Many others spoke about the inability of the drivers to cancel trips to areas that are volatile, while some were concerned about the absence of other e-riding companies that would have competed with the foreign-owned ones. The drivers are urging the government to look into the crisis and help alleviate their suffering. According to them, if nothing is done, they may be forced to take further action against the foreign app companies.
My full tank is 10,500. Now I bought 5,500, which is 10 liters. After obeying both to carry passenger, I made only 7,300. That is, boat has not removed commission. The total trip is 7,300 for the whole day. And then at the end of the day, inside the 7,300, by the time both removed their 25%, I was left with 600 naira.
We have brains. They can actually come up with an app that will be friendly. And anybody who wants to bring this type of app should have a round table discussion with the drivers.
What both now we go in to do at their own job now is you don't give a passenger an order that is beyond 8 minutes.
Oli J. Wapera, Arise News.
Now joining us to take a look at the newly signed law is a former chairman of that was our last discussion. Yes, we now have the chairman of the Amalgamated Association of those Uber and boat drivers, Mr. Fred Aleburu. Yes, Mr. Fred Aleburu is right here with us to have a look at this issue, the issue of what Uber and Bolt drivers are facing with this fuel subsidy removal. Mr. Aleburu, paint us a picture of your current situation.
Good evening, Nigerians. Good evening, Outone. The picture is mind-bleeding because the subsidy removal automatically turns the system into 300% increase of fuel. And we are asking the app-based company, make it just 200% for us and reduce your percentage to 10% commission, because you don't service a vehicle, you do not maintain the cars, you just produce your app and you earn that commission of 20, 30, some are earning 30%. So the situation now is that, like you sell what they were talking, our drivers were talking about. If you procure a 20 liters of fuel at 10,740, you are going to make 10,000 naira on that as the whole money you make. Then you go home hungry. If you go to filling stations all over, everywhere is empty. So we are pressing home our demand that, look, there is need for you to review the system as app-based company, because what you are doing presently is slavery and slave master system, that you cry and I don't listen. But thank God for what we have now, Amalgamated Union of App-Based Transport Workers of Nigeria. This is the first way we have now got a voice. The last time I came here, we didn't have it.
Right.
Now we have it, and this is the voice that we have. We want the app companies to just do the needful so that at least we will stay on the air otherwise.
Otherwise, what? I mean, you're asking for 200% review of,
Yeah, we're not asking for 300.
How realistic really is it, considering the prevailing situation? And it does seem from that report that this provides an opportunity for you all to actually come up with an alternative app. Is that even on the table? And you say otherwise?
Yes, that is part of it, because we discovered that even the terms and conditions of the present app companies, Uber and Bolt, is not tenable in any country. Now, based on that, we are just giving them the benefit of the doubt that they should do the needful. If they don't, there's no monopoly to ride-hailing system app.
And that's why I'm asking that
question. Of course, we have a plan B to make sure that we simply migrate out of these two apps, because it's not favorable. People are losing their businesses, people are traumatized. In the first instance, let us go back a bit. The app companies, apart from this fuel, we came here the other time and told you that, look, they don't have the valid identity document of their riders. Till date, that is what is still prevailing. They do not have any records of their riders. If you tell them to bring one, you have somebody requesting his name is Mr. Cat and all that. They are still prevailing at this time, and they are so adamant not listening to us, because they say we don't have a union. Can I shock you? Do you know, when God bless the federal government of Nigeria, I'm proud to be in Nigeria, because right now the immediate past Minister of Labor and Employment looked into this informal sector of the economy, because we are on the informal sector and we contribute the highest level of GDP to this economy. He looked at that and said, look, there is a need for you to have a union. And he gave us the union. But guess what? Uber and Bolt, united in evil, wrote a letter to the registrar of the trade union in the federal ministry that they should not give us certificate, that we are not workers.
Why?
If we are not workers, who are we? So now they did not give us room for bargaining of our prices. They don't. They fix the price, they stop you, and they say you are not worker. If you are not, you are not employing me, why should you fire me? Why should you query me?
Mr. Aleburu, I understand your plight, and I share your sentiment, because most of us are using your services, and so it affects everyone. But my concern, however, is that why did you wait till now because you have a backlog of issues? Why did you wait till now before taking up these issues with the necessary authorities?
Okay, you mean the issue of the subsidy? Let me
understand. No. Why did you wait till now before taking up the issue of your licensing, your certificate, and your being allowed to have a union, and the virility, strength of your union?
Thank you so much. Before this time, there is what we call divide and rule. These app companies have been the one dividing the union. The app company, they will pay some people, they call themselves ambassadors. They will, when we are trying to plan a formidable thing, they would scatter it. But thank God now that we now have a union. It is on this basis that 3 major unions in Nigeria, NUPAP, NACOP, and PETPAT, came together. That's why it's called Amalgamated Union of App-Based. They united and they gave us this union. It is on this basis that we now have the strength, because if you are not a union, you do not have a voice.
So now that you have the strength,
yes,
the requisite strength and the voice, have you even had any kind of face-to-face sitting at the table with the e-hailing companies? What has been their response to you?
Of course.
So far?
I remember the last time and the only time that we have had a meeting. And you know what that meeting was? A meeting that they united to say that the union should not be certified. They do not recognize, they made it expressly clear. Let me tell you something. Even at this strike, they are blocking our members. They will put the reason for blocking you. They will say strike action, that you join the strike action. So they don't make way for us. So they don't want to sit with us, because they know if they sit with us, we'll have this plea bargaining. You know, we'll have to bargain our prices and know how things will work for us. But they don't want it. But what we are saying is that, again, the government also should play a role. In this regulation of e-hailing business in this country. They should play a role, because I can assure you, I can tell you authoritatively that these people are evading tax. Their government is not looking into that sector. That's by the way. But on the part of government, as I am going to make a plea, since this thing has happened like this, government should create a palliative for the informal sector, the app-based workers of Nigeria. Government should create, a palliative for them, because what we are going through now it cannot be explained except you are involved in it. If you are not in it, you will not understand it. That is why we started the strike since Wednesday, and the strike is still ongoing.
How long is it expected to go on?
Well, we are giving the app companies up to Monday to make their necessary adjustment. And we are telling them that all our members that they have blocked, they should unblock them.
We'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
He is the representative of Amalgamated Union of App-Based Transport Workers, joining us on Newsnight, Fred Aleburu.